Hello, welcome back. We're in week 4. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Business 121 online, and this is a quick overview going into week 4. I did this week. I'm going to come in as a student mode. If you notice this in here, it shows me that I'm looking at the same way as you'll be looking at my course, Blackboard course management system. First of all, let's talk. Let me go in here. Go into our weekly homework. So the only thing I really see is the last 2 weeks. We're still finishing week 3. The majority of the students are coming in there. I've got my for the third exam, 33 questions. I think I gave you more than ample time to complete the exam. If you've been doing the LearnSmart on time, you're doing well. I think I've got from B's and A's. I got one kind of like a C minus or something else. Just make sure you look at the questions. And remember, you have the ability to go forward on my exams and go backward within that allotted time. Okay, so last week you did well. I know some of the videos. The Bully Broad video was kind of a little outdated, but it stimulated conversation within the class. The other, and what I wanted to do, when you look at the discussion boards, I will respond, when you respond by Tuesday or maybe early Wednesday, I will respond to several students and I do a very intense response to whoever I select. Similar to like in the classroom, you're still required not always to respond to every student, a few students, several students within the course to get the full points, but to read the other responses like you'd be reading within at work. You look at all the different emails that's being sent to you as a manager or as a individual contributor. You look at those emails, and you may not respond to everyone, but you have the general idea. The part of the discussion when I write paragraph pages, you know what I mean, or a little more in depth, focusing on what I want you to understand, it's similar to like in the classroom. When a student would ask me a question, I would respond. Everyone in the class hears it. They all don't respond to the comments. Some shake their heads, some yes, some say no. So remember, so as we're going with the discussion, we're in week 4. You're already at the halfway mark. Right now, I think in this class I've got B's and A's. I don't think I have anyone lower than a B, which is excellent. This is what this course is supposed to be. You've learned as much in a shorter period of time. Remember, this is a 16-week course condensed into an 8-week course. You still have to do the work, but you've learning so much. You're able to discuss. I'm just testing you. You see the videos. You see, oh, I can see how that applies. All right, so you're doing very well. Hang in there. You're at the halfway mark. I think we have 4 chapters coming up this week, and next week, if I am mistaken, is 3. And then I start winding down, because then I'm going to give you time, even with the discussion board and working together, to work on your paper. Part of the requirements for all college, especially the College of Lake County, is that everyone writes across the curriculum. You taking this course in an online class, you have a better, you write better. Whether you're a good writer or a bad writer, the more you write, the better you get. The more I do anything, like in sports or anything else, I become more proficient. So you're doing well. I mean, for some of you, you're already ahead. Some of you finished all your Learn Smart Connect homework because you're ahead. Remember, you always have all my, the way I would approach it going forward. Even some of you are doing this right. Look at my lectures, kind of skim through the book. The book is very easy reading, ebook, electronic book or that, and then see what I'm requiring on your in your discussion board. My discussion boards are just to take the information you've read in the chapters and see how it's applicable within the business environment. Otherwise, you hear some comments that, college is overrated. It's overrated if all you know is terms and conditions and vocabulary, but don't know how to apply it. My doctorate is in business administration. I'm a practitioner. What you're learning, I want you to understand the concepts, but I also want you to be able to apply them. Okay? All right. So let's see. Now I don't know how many minutes I got, but this is about like a half an hour I want to do. All right, let me just go into this week. So this week you're gonna have another exam, and again, 33 questions. I don't scramble the exam; it goes in line. and I've limited on I think each chapter. I mean, if you're your question may be a little different than one of your virtual students, but they're still covering the same area of concentration. So we're going to go into week third. You're going to be talking about chapter 13's marketing. When I'm looking at marketing, marketing is, look at my whole video and I explain it, but in a nutshell, marketing is the heart of your advertising, promotion, and public relation campaign. So marketing, for me to market something, I have to have a message. And the message is, I'm new in town. I haven't, or I'm adding this added value that your competitors isn't. So when you're looking at marketing, it is the heart. And your marketing campaign changes depending on what message you want to present to your clientele. So marketing is the heart. It presents a message. Your promotion, your advertising is your paid communication that tells that message to your clientele or your customers. Your promotion is something that gets them into the door. Hey, we'll give you 50% off, or buy one get one free, whatever. It gets you into the door. Your sales portion of the marketing is basically they come in there. Oh, welcome! I see you've got my ad, and they're expanding on that message. Okay. Now the other, and then later on we're going to get into advertising. The other thing that we're going to be talking about pricing. When I'm looking, my background's from business to business. So pricing is important when I buy by quantity and everything else, but they're more concerned on delivery and they're more concerned on quality. Because if you look at Samsung, they have little problems with the quality of their batteries. And no matter what prices, the people lost their confidence in them, even though it's coming back up. I hear their, excuse me, their new Samsung Galaxy is a pretty good piece of a very well built smartphone. Why? Because you got to come out and show bring that quality back into the individual's mindset, for lack of a better word. So you have to look at the pricing. So how much on pricing? The consumer pricing basically is what we use as a gauge, and we use as a gauge. If it's a higher price, I expect to get higher quality. If the price, and I'm looking at comparing it to my competitors' other prices. Low price, high price. That's how consumers think. So pricing is important. When we went back to the other chapter, looking at what would you price, some businesses when they start off, when you look at the product life cycle, they're going to price it a little bit higher because there's less people, or there may be a demand, so they can price it a little bit higher. Look at the gasoline prices, because what's happening with the storms and the tornadoes in other parts of the country affects us, because that's where the refinery companies are at. So gasoline prices are going up. Now, should they go up? Some people have an ample supply of prices of gasoline, but they're rising prices because the competitors' prices went up. I could go a little lower and still get customers, and I have a higher profit margin. Nothing illegal. Not like what's something going on. I forgot there's some at the electronics store, and I'm not out there to bad money or anything, but they were selling water for $39 that you could buy here for $2. Is that price gouging there? Is that taking advantage of a situation? Is that taking advantage of a situation? Sorry, my smartphone told me I should be out early in the morning. Is that taking advantage of a situation? Instead, should they be giving that water at lower price, or giving it away and using that as a marketing campaign? Look, people are hurting. I'm a big company. I can make money in a real short term, but we're giving the water to help. People will remember the name of that company as helping. Most people now remember that company as price gouging. And I don't have to say what the name of the company starts with a B, and it's been in the papers. What the heck is going on here? I could see a small business trying to recoup something. A large corporation, they could absorb a loss here, transfer that money that they're paying, that they're losing from in a marketing campaign. Now they have to spend kazoo to convince me that, hey, we're really friendly. We really did. It was just a mistake. But remember? And then you have public relations. And that's part of all that. Remember? But everything goes with the same message. And that's what you're going to learn today. All right? So we have everything else. We're doing pretty good. You're going to do in here, and let's see what we have for the week. You've got your LearnSmart 40 points. Get them done. I remember I set them up for like a half an hour, 30, 40 minutes. I give you a little more time when you're going. I make them a little bit longer when we go into the finance area. But they're easy. When you read the book, you do that, you can finish them in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And the questions that come out of the LearnSmart, that's an integrated software program by McGraw-Hill, those questions are just from the same test bank that you'll be testing. So you learn to LearnSmart, you play around, you learn the terminology, then you're tested, and you got enough time to test it. You know, I don't rush you, I don't stress you out there. I give you ample time. Those who have me, but, you know, I don't give it away, but I give you. Yeah, the whole thing is that you take those vocabulary, take those concepts, you understand them because you read them, you listen to my YouTube, you did the LearnSmart. It's in here. They're not solid, but it's in there. You know, it's kind of in your brain system. And then the discussion board of the videos is basically to help you move forward and how do I apply it, or how do a business apply it. Part of understanding your competitors is seeing what they're doing. When I'm looking at their pricing, I kind of know what's their markup. And that's what this pricing tells you, a different way of markup. You know, some people just add 20% no matter what. Remember, if your price is higher than your competitors, because of your expenses, people aren't coming to you unless you have some quality or some added value. You know, my competitor's out of plastic, mine's out of metal, that's why higher. Oh, I can see that. I'd rather have this, a little bit stronger. Okay, so remember, so when you're looking at pricing, the other part that you're going to be doing in the first part of your discussion board is you're going to be doing the SWOT analysis. And I covered that in the chapter also, fully, real quickly. SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. Okay, so when I'm looking at strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, strengths and weaknesses I win in the organization. What's my strength? What's my weaknesses? Opportunity, threats is what's outside an environment forces. My competitors, laws. You know what I mean? Those could be strengths or weaknesses. Depends what's opening it up. So when I'm looking at that, you first have to look at what's your strengths and what's your weaknesses. That's the SWOT. The other thing I want you to do is, for a promotion, I got to adjust this a little bit, is also to talk about, give me where you're going to promote your product, where you're going to sell it. And I wrote this with the promotion, and I just had to adjust it, is your strength and your weaknesses. Tell me what your strength is for your business. What's your weakness? And then you look at one or two of your competitors, and you look at what their strengths and weaknesses are. Once you understand their strengths and weaknesses, then your advertising, your marketing campaign will basically be marketing against their strengths. Against their weaknesses. Remember, if I'm a customer, if I'm going to switch from one business, buying a product from one competitor to another one, I want the same thing I'm getting now, but I'm missing something. So hopefully you have everything the same, but you're going to be able to absorb that other thing. The other part here that I'm just going to adjust, I just looked at this real quickly, is that when you're talking, talk about your promotion. How you think, where you're going to promote that? This could be a quick one, just one. You know, what kind of instrument, when and where you're going to promote? I got a 3, but since this is a summer class, I'm just going to ask you one for your promotion. I'll adjust that a little bit. I'm in the student mode, so this is a good thing to see. You also have a couple of videos. This is just to keep the discussion and to make it real. So you're not just reading stuff. You know, some of the stuff, and here you have a substance. You have something on pricing. This is a distribution with UPS, and this one here is on Chapter 13 that actually talks about Pizza Hut, one of their marketing campaigns that they were doing. Okay. So we should do all right. You're doing well on here. Then you have your, here's one, Tom and Eddie's videos. I think this is from Chapter 13, Energizer. So you got a variety of little videos. Look at them. You know, you're driving. You're looking at a lot of other. These are like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, real quick videos, just to see how marketing, pricing, how other companies, larger organizations, try to attract people to a new product or to an existing product, or revitalize a product that's kind of, you know what I mean? Do I get rid of it? Do I sell it? And sometimes, look, if the product is new, you can charge a little more as long as the competitors aren't there. Or you could do what they call penetration price, a little bit lower to get customers in. So you have to look at, when I walk into a store, I could almost tell if it's a high-end store or low-end, but a few items I pick up. What are the prices? In my mind, I know what I would pay. And, you know, so, oh, geez, you know, I only paid this much for $10 for a cup. And here they want $20. What's the difference? Oh, they got gold rim around it. So you're doing well in this class. keep up the work. You're at the halfway point. Uh, you already have your B's and your A's. Remember, you're learning. It's a different way of learning when you're taking 16 weeks into 8. I teach this course in another school in 6 weeks. They do the same amount of time. You could do it. And some students, that's all they like is 8-week courses because it makes it easier for them. They could finish the degree in a shorter time and still retain. So again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. I'll see you in the discussion board. Remember, our discussion board is kind of like you have a lot of stuff to discuss. In the 16 weeks courses, I want to give you 1 or 2 things to discuss. But here, this is 8 weeks. I let you do discuss a little bit about this, talk about the SWOT analysis, talk about here's one I think where I'm going to promote at, and look at the videos and put some comments. It's worth 18 points, but it's still a way of interacting, and I will respond 1 or 2 students, and most of you are doing very well helping and responding. Your writing has improved. Your discussion board posting have improved. They're not just one-liners. But remember, when you're doing a discussion board in my class or other classes, you're not supposed to be 20 pages. It's supposed to be 1 or 2 paragraphs. That's all I'm asking for you. And then respond to several other people. You post, and remember, some people you post and respond, and they may not respond. That's business. I put my ad on. Everyone doesn't call back, but those who call back, I use that as an opportunity to promote my product, to understand my customers, and make my adjustments. Okay? Again, I'll talk to you later. You're there. Just hang in there. You're all doing well. I'm very proud of this class. Your interaction is good. Your exams are good. Down the road at the end, I may throw out one of your low LearnSmart or something else. I'll try to throw out one of your lower grades, and maybe on the exam, or I'll have to see how everyone does. Something that's fair to everybody else, and make some adjustments. I'm always helping you. My job is not to make you fail. This is an introduction class. There's a lot of information you've been presented, but all businesses, at least now you understand when you take me for sales, you take me for marketing, you take me for finance, management, whatever, I understand how the parts fit. It's like a real condensed section, and I'm very proud of you. So you keep up the good work, and we'll see you in the discussion board. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Business 121, Week 4. Look at my videos, look at my concept maps. I also included the PowerPoints from the publishers in here. Utilize the Smart book, and remember, don't try to do it all at once, a little at a time. That's the convenience of being mobile. That's the convenience of having smartphones or your laptops or Chrome, whatever you're using to make it easy. That's how I take it. I've got several classes I'm teaching here in another school and doing a little consulting. So what's going to happen? I basically can't do it all at once. I got a little free time here. I do this class like I do when you see me go into your discussion board. I hit a few, talk to a few, and go back, and then I come back and forth, and that's how you should do. That's how you'll keep yourself. You're managing your time. You're not stressed out. You're utilizing your time effectively, efficiently. Okay? And before you know it, in a few weeks, you'll be done. Like I said, we have 4 chapters next week, and then it starts winding down because then we're going to start working on your paper. Your paper's not hard. You have about 7 or 8 pages, and you're going to cover all the chapters. You're going to do on your product. Some of this we already discussed in the discussion board. Use some of the concepts. You already did some students already had some information on outside sources. That could be another hot dog set. I'm looking at George's hot dog or your competitors. Utilize that, you'll get the grade, and you'll take the final exam. It will be 100 questions, all chapters. It is a final exam that everyone has to take. Remember, when I'm looking at the way it is broken down, how much for the exam, how much for the discussion board, for this course, it's kind of they give me a standard. Here's how I want all classes at the College of Lake County should have this kind of a breakdown between so much from the exam, so much from participation, and so much for other activities, and all of them will require writing across the curriculum, which you're doing. Okay, I'm not an English teacher by any means, but your writing has improved, your communications, you're more focused, you understand how to respond to students. You're doing great. I'm very proud of everyone. I'll be quiet now. Bye, and I'll see you in the discussion board. Well, I didn't do too bad, only 19 minutes. I'm very happy. All right?